So the diet is so important. And a negative diet can also stress your dog out. And we don't want our dogs to be stressed out. We know how it feels to be stressed out, and our dogs feed off our energy immensely. We all know that. Like when we're upset in the house, the dogs are like, what's happening? What's happening? So we want to keep those stress levels down. And through diet, whether it be herbs or fresh foods, we can do that. And I think that's just an amazing place to start.
Yeah, of course. And do you recommend like a variety of fresh foods in their diet, or are there? This could be an end-all question. Are there specific herbs that you prefer that you think are really great for this gut health, especially?
That's a really long conversation. But one of the things I think, going back to my original point of figuring out your dog as an individual, so dogs who are warm should not be fed things like salmon and lamb and venison, kangaroo, uh, the food like proteins that are very, very warming. They don't do well on that, and it causes inflammation. Whereas things like beef and sometimes duck and whitefish can be much more cooling. So, and like the coolest meat out there, if your dog is really, really hot, is pork. I'm not a huge fan of feeding pork. However, for dogs that are super in that kind of hot state, it can really cool them off because it's a refrigerant. Dogs that are cool they have a lot more proteins that they can use. Lamb is one of the hottest meats out there. Venison, kangaroo, goat, things like turkey can be quite warming. It depends on the individual. But like working with your dog to figure out if there is inflammation can be a huge, huge factor. And so I've got a little thing that you can do to figure out if something is inflaming your dog. Do you mind if I go over that?
Yes, please do.
Someone taught me this 25 years ago, and I've used it ever since. And a vet taught me this 25 years ago in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And it's just a great little tool. It's not an absolute, but I will tell you right now, it's probably effective 9 times out of 10. So this is what you can do to test. You can test a meal. You can test an individual food for your dog. So let's just use broccoli as an example. So you take a piece of broccoli. You're going to give it to your dog to eat, and usually about a teaspoon is sufficient enough. You're going to feel the inside of their ears. So if they're floppy ears, you're going to grab the ends of the flaps or right where the smooth skin starts, and you're going to feel it. You're going to feel their ears, and just kind of register the heat. Like, okay, they're like mildly warm, or they're kind of cool. And then you're going to give them that food, broccoli or a piece of beef, a piece of turkey, a piece of lamb, whatever you want to feed them, or an entire meal. And then you're going to wait 30 to 40 minutes after they're done eating. And you're going to feel the inside of their ears again. If the inside of their ears is just a recognizable increase in heat, like, wow, they're burning, right? Or they're really a lot hotter than they were, right? You have inflammation. It's an immune response. So the immune system is basically launching an attack against the food that your dog just ate. And if we can keep that from happening as much as possible, that is disease prevention in itself. So, and you can test anything. So you might want to just test your food, the meal that you're giving your dog, that you normally give your dog. Test that first.
Not only can herbs and spices help your dog's digestion, but they also have a ton of anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. However, some herbs might be harmful to dogs. In the next video, learn which herbs are dangerous for your dog.